They're aiming at kids. And between the recent launch of Apple's Creator Studio bundle and the abundance of rumors about their upcoming MacBook aimed squarely at the Chromebook market, this makes complete sense. The wild compelling part of this is actually the pricing, well, at least for the younger audience, regardless of the subscription fatigue we all have. The subscription is typically $12.99 a month or $129 a year. But look at the education discount. $299 a month or $29.99 a year, again, US dollars. And that's absurd and aggressively competitive. On top of that, they used to, and keyword used to, have a Pro Apps bundle for education for $199 US dollars. But if you try to go to that page, it throws a page can't be found error. You can still find the original page on Wayback Machine. I'll leave links in the description below. Obviously, they realized that the one-time $199 price point wasn't completely accessible for students. In a lot of ways, the new model makes a little more sense if you factor in the cost of a Chromebook competitor. As I just said just now, if Apple can actually make a MacBook with an A18 Pro chip from the iPhone 16 Pro, or an A19 Pro chip from the iPhone 17 Pro, or the most likely A20 incoming A20 Pro chip found in the next generation iPhone Pro models later this year, we know that those chips start running close to, if not outright beating, the M1 family of processors. And even by today's standards, look, the M1 is still a very, very capable chip over 5 years later. Honestly, consider this. If you're Apple and you see this new wave of kids going through school only knowing workflows in Chrome OS and Windows, wouldn't it bother you that there would have to be a compelling reason to move that new generation over to your platform? Not just the pain points of learning a whole new platform, but the customer satisfaction survey that they're more than happy to throw in your face every single time there's a keynote. If you grew up on some form of macOS, iOS, or iPadOS, you're probably more likely to stay in that ecosystem once you enter the workforce. So this is just seeds to play the long game with the new generation. And there's even more clues here. For this, I'll use the just released update of Final Cut Pro. I've had this theory for a while about Apple aiming all of this at a new generation. So when I first installed the new update, I saw this and I laughed. On the left, you're suddenly greeted with a Create Library button and a summary of what a Final Cut library actually is. Beside that, you have a button to import media, and where the timeline normally sits, you have a Create Project button and a summary explaining that you must create or open a library before creating a project. This is miles more intuitive than Final Cut ever was before. Well, at least for new users. And they even have a bunch of new social media centric features under the hood. I won't cover those here, but Dylan John Dickerson and Dylan Bates on YouTube did fantastic videos on this, which I'll link below in the description. There are some cool features, but the skeptic in me has some thoughts, and I don't think that this is a means to generate revenue. Listen, Apple has enough resources, and as Tim Cook said this week during their quarterly earnings call, today Apple is proud to report a remarkable, record-breaking quarter with revenue of $143.8 billion, up 16% from a year ago and well above our expectations. It's not a means to generate revenue. It's a play to secure the future of Apple device adoption. And it's a play to do so while appealing shareholders. It's not all doom and gloom though, so you can still buy perpetual licenses on a lot of what is offered in Creator Studio. You just don't get the premium content like some new titles and transitions that are offered in the Creator Studio subscription. Although I want to see in a calendar year, like 1 year from now, I want to see how much new content Apple actually gave subscription holders. They could do what they did recently when they acquired Q.AI, you know, their largest acquisition, only second to Beats. They could just say F it and just buy motion VFX. Remember, they had Emerauto AI. That was a motion VFX product. That was their AI-based masking, and Apple just walked in and dropped a free update with Magnetic Mask, which does a fantastic job, completely for free, for perpetual owners of Final Cut before any of this subscription stuff was even part of their software. So if they're serious about appealing to a younger audience who may want to be creators, something else that audience shares is a love of gaming. So imagine, just for a second, imagine if you could play really good games on this new rumored MacBook. And I actually did a whole video about that idea with the new rumored low-cost MacBook. You can check out that video right here. But in the meantime, my name is Sean, and this has been Tech Mixer, and I'm out. Peace.